What were you drinking then?
Twisted tea, Your Honor.
You just are continuing to consume alcohol. Quite frankly, need to go inpatient. I mean, you know you can't do this on your own.
Correct, sir.
Mr. Duncan is the sole care provider for his 95-year-old mother. I don't necessarily disagree with what this court just stated, and I don't think Mr. Duncan does either. Would the court consider allowing him to be put onto a SCRAM tether?
My point in that is he's highly intoxicated during these films. So that's certainly a concern if he were to be released even on a SCRAM tether.
This defendant really walked into court acting like he could trick the entire justice system with a couple excuses about his drug tests. It just blows my mind how some people treat a court hearing like it's optional homework, especially when they're already tied to a serious criminal case. The prosecutor doesn't even have to try in this clip. The facts alone make it so obvious this guy should not be walking around free. This defendant reminds me of that friend who gets caught red-handed and still swears they're innocent even though everybody knows the truth. Let me know in the comments if you think people like this deserve another chance on bond, or if zero tolerance is the only way to keep the courtroom sane. Let's dive in.
Hey, Dustin, just state your name for the record, please.
Dustin Duncan.
All right, Your Honor, thank you for recalling this matter. So based on Mr. Duncan's appearance, I would ask the court to withdraw the bench warrant.
What was his name?
There's a bond violation.
Yeah, no, I see it. Well, you see the violation. The violation was the reason that I issued the warrant in this case.
Right, Your Honor. I've discussed the bond violation with Mr. Duncan. And Your Honor, to his credit, he did contact his community corrections agent and admitted.
When did he do that?
To consuming alcohol. The report indicates that he did, or it may have been the email actually that was sent out by Mr. Casey, where it indicated that Mr. Duncan did call him and admitted to drinking a twisted tea on September 13th, which is what ultimately led to the positive test on that date. I mean, then obviously we do have other issues. I'm aware of that, but at least he did admit to consuming alcohol to his community corrections agent. I can tell you that based on my discussion with Mr. Duncan, he has started attending some meetings with the Alano Club. He has reached out to Home of New Vision. He's an admitted alcoholic, Your Honor.
You wrote Pickett.
I understand all of that, but my other problem is that given the other sort of mistest, I mean, what about on, you say the twisted tea on the 13th, what about on August 30th? What were you drinking then?
Same twisted tea, Your Honor. I've contacted Home and New Vision. Can I speak?
Well, I just said that, but you're welcome to say it if you'd like to.
No, I didn't. I started talking. Contacted Mr. Leroy Pickett with Home and New Vision for a sponsor. I had 4 years clean and I relapsed. I know firsthand I need help with it.
Well, I understand all of that, sir, but so here's part of the problem that I'm having. Not only is there then these tests, he also has then missed tests, of which I would have to assume you're drinking.
Yes, I was.
So I'm going to ask you this, all right?
Okay.
I have a bunch of missed tests. But on August 30th, I have the alcohol shows up. On September 13th, alcohol shows up. And we have more missed tests. So between, I guess, the 16th, the date of this report, and the date you went on the tether back in August, how many times have you drank?
6 or 7. Maybe
Yeah.
8. I had 2 missed tests. I was in the hospital, but I did. Yes, I did.
You just are continuing to consume alcohol. And you're playing with the testing so that it appears as though it's just a missed test, when in fact, what it is you're drinking. Quite frankly, need to go inpatient. I mean, you know you can't do this on your own.
Correct, sir.
Mr. Bowling.
Your Honor, Mr. Duncan is the sole care provider for his 95-year-old mother. I don't necessarily disagree with what this court just stated, and I don't think Mr. Duncan does either. Would the court consider allowing him to be put onto a SCRAM tether?
The second the prosecutor mentions he was out in traffic swinging a knife around, the entire sympathy act collapses. You cannot stand in front of a judge talking about one drink, while the actual behavior could have put half the street in danger. This is the kind of stuff that gets people locked up instantly, and somehow he still thought asking for a tether was realistic here. I mean, I think the judge is clearly done with the minimizing. You can see it in the way he stops even pretending to entertain the excuses here. I mean, the attorney here, he's just doing his job, but he keeps trying to soften everything. In like cases like this, some just can't be sugarcoated no matter how hard you spin them. And honestly, I mean, watching the defendant sit there realizing his entire sobriety story is just tough to rough. I mean, I know there's people in the comments who think this guy deserves another chance. Let me know why you guys do, because I see it in every single video defending people like this. But yeah, let's dive back in.
The reality is, in this type of circumstance, that doesn't help.
If nothing else, maybe it would be a reminder with a device on his leg that maybe he needs to call a sponsor if he feels like he needs to drink, or that he needs to attend an online AA meeting at any time of the day. Maybe the tether on his body would give a little bit more reminder than the SoberLink sitting on the nightstand table or the couch side table.
People have some concerns if you'd like to hear.
Yes, go on.
Well, the allegations include that Mr. Duncan was highly intoxicated at the time, walking into traffic, wielding a knife, trying to punch cars, making statements to incite a fight, continued that type of behavior when police arrived to take him into custody. My point in that is he was highly intoxicated during these felonies. So that's certainly a concern if he were to be released, even on a SCRAM tether. At most, I would think the court could maybe consider a release to long-term inpatient treatment if you were to take him into custody. Thank you.
To adjourn the defendant's probable cause conference to September 30th, 2025. 9 a.m. And at this time, given the violations, defendant's body. Thank you.
I think this hearing was a perfect example of how fast the courtroom can flip when someone thinks they can outsmart the system. Addiction is very real, but once you start putting the community at risk, the judge has no choice but to pull the plug on your freedom. You guys would be surprised how many people get thrown back in custody because they just won't be honest about a slip up before things spiral. I think the judge did exactly what the law demands here. Protect the public first and then put your feelings second. Pretty hard to feel bad when the defendant here kept pushing his luck until there was nothing left to defend. And honestly, watching him get remanded that quickly should be a wake-up call for anybody who treats bond conditions like suggestions. But yeah, guys, do you think the judge handled this one fairly? Or would you have given him one last chance to prove himself? Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and take care.